and my channel Enjoy Watercolour Painting. I'm Diana and I give watercolour classes here in the gallery, and this week the subject is going to be painting a calm sea. So I'm going to take you through the different stages of this painting. It's a very therapeutic and calming thing to do, so let's paint. I have two colours today, two different palettes, cobalt turquoise and Indian red. Both these colours are granulating colours, which means that the pigment is very heavy and when put on a wet paper will granulate or stick together to produce a grainy finish. And this is what I want to achieve. Wetting the paper first, the usual Arches 300 gram 100% cotton. And as you can see, I'm spotting on the cobalt turquoise first, just to the left hand side of the paper, and I want to let it flow. I want to let it flow horizontally and mix as well. These two colours together will combine to make lovely soft greys, if they're allowed to. I don't want them to lose the two colours entirely, but I do want them to combine. So it's just a question of moving the paper around. You can see the granulation process starting already, giving texture to the wash even at this stage. And I've added more cobalt turquoise because I want the blue grey to be present and not a softer pink grey. But they're lovely two colours to use. I love it because they give a foggy, misty appearance. This is supposed to be a calm picture, will be a calm picture, and I'm starting off with a very calming process and letting the paint run, which is really good to do. Now I'm going to leave it to dry. Now you see the paper is dry, and because it's a granulating combination, both the colours granulate, I can move the colour easily and almost use the yellow brush, the flat brush, acrylic brush, to move paint to give me a line for the horizon. I'm just wetting a little with a hint of colour to give me a headland in the background, which I'll return to later. And again, using the short flat acrylic brush, I've wet the paper so I can add a little bit of dark defining colour, this time Payne's Grey, with just a hint of blue, Windsor blue, green shade added to it. This is for the tide line, which I want to define just with the dark edges. Looks quite stark at the moment, but because it will dry lighter, it will all blend, although I am doing some blending with the liner brush as I go. Again, I've done no pencil work. I'm putting a certain sense of diagonal into the picture now. I don't want it all to be a horizontal incoming waves. A little bit of diagonal helps to give it a little bit more liveliness. I'm just blending again. Can be very spontaneous, and I do urge you to try using this combination of Indian red and cobalt turquoise to give you all sorts of lovely bases for different pictures. Now I'm using the mop brush to blend a little so we can start to combine the colours and define a wave edge where the tide has come in and then started to go back out again. So we have wet sand. I'd really like to be standing there at the edge of the sea. It would be really fine to do that. I love to be by the sea. Where I live is a 2-hour drive to the sea, but it's nice to go and do just that. Stand and watch the waves come in. I want the sand to look wet, and so I'm adding a little bit of blue colouring and taking it right up to the tide line. And then once more we let it dry. And as expected, it is dried in a more subdued way. And again, I'm using the flat acrylic brush to take out colour. This time to give us a highlight in the background where the light is catching the sea before the waves break. It's all about contrast. We take the colour out and then add a little bit of darker colour. I have this lovely mop brush which is very pointed at the end and will carry lots of paint, and so I can use it almost like a pen to give me a really defined line but soft at the same time. So it's a lovely brush to use, and as you see, we've got the contrast in the background now. More blending, and you can really see in this up close view the granulation, how the two colours, Indian red and cobalt turquoise, have made a kind of a misty look to the whole picture, which is the effect I wanted. And now I'm adding a little bit more darker emphasis under the waves as they curl. This lovely mop brush with its pointy end is really good for this. Don't want to do too much in the way of emphasis. I do want to soften it, but the mop brush, which holds a lot of paint and water, will do that as well, so it's a really good brush to use. I'm starting to add just a hint of Indian red as well to the foreground, just to complement the sky. Now I'm going to leave it to dry once more. And finally, just on the crest of some of the little waves coming in, because this is a calm sea, remember, there isn't much surf, but the white highlights that I'm putting in with watercolour white, titanium white, will just make it look a little foamy in places. Again, it's all about contrast, so the darker shading underneath will help to emphasise the white crest. But I'm moving it and softening it with large mop brush too, just damp, so that they don't look too obvious. This is really a calm, understated picture, and something you can play about with. Start off with the two colours that I mentioned and take it from there. It's just a piece of watercolour paper at the end of the day, and it's the enjoyment that counts. You can do too much with white. It's not good to do too many white surfy bits on a picture like this. So in a moment I'm going to stop and leave it and say, there is my calm sea. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching my video. I hope it's inspired you to play with colour, to try different pigments to produce different effects. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Till the next time, enjoy your watercolour painting. Bye!